Good evening, good to have you with us in the 9 p.m. edition of the Urban Debate. We've got a series of conversations lined up for you. First, we begin with the big fight that's erupted between the BJP and the political parties from Jammu and Kashmir. The political parties who've just recently again come together to revive their Gupkar declaration and form an alliance to take on the BJP. Today, Home Minister Amit Shah launched a stinging attack on the Gupkar Alliance. In fact, he called it an unholy global Gathbandhan. Amit Shah went on to call them Gupkar Gang, which is going global now. It's an unholy global Gathbandhan against national interests, said the Home Minister. They want to take away the rights of Dalits and tribals. Either Gupkar Gang swims along with the national mood or else people will sink it. Gupkar Gang also insults India's tricolour. Of course, within minutes of these series of tweets that Amit Shah put out, you had response coming in both from the PDP and the NC. In fact, PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti actually said that it was the BJP who in fact was violating the constitution day in and day out. Earlier, BJP's narrative was about Tukre Gang that threatened India's sovereignty. Now you're using the Gupkar Gang euphemism to project us as anti-nationals. Fighting elections in an alliance is also anti-national now? That was the question that she asked. And then she clubbed together Love Jihad, Tukre and this new terminology, Gupkar Gang, that the BJP is now using. Omar Abdullah was not too far behind. Few minutes later, he also tweeted his response saying that I understand the frustration behind this attack by the Home Minister. He was briefed that People's Alliance was preparing to boycott elections, and that would have essentially meant that BJP could have gone ahead and had a free run in Jammu and Kashmir. But because that's not happening, this is why the BJP is responding in such a way. Only in Jammu and Kashmir can leaders be detained and called anti-national for participating in elections, says Omar Abdullah. We are not a gang, Amit Shah ji. We are a legitimate political alliance, says Omar Abdullah. So as this political war of word escalates, we decided to get two representatives to talk about this and why it's already reached such an ugly point even before the due electoral process and the election process or even the political process in Jammu and Kashmir has begun. Let's say good evening to RP Singh, national spokesperson for the BJP, joining us right now, and Najmu Saqib, additional spokesperson for the PAGD, the Gupkar Alliance, joining us this evening. Thank you so much. Let me start actually with Najmu Saqib. Najmu Saqib, ये जो alliance है, ये इसका main intention क्या है? BJP कहती है it's just an alliance of unholy anti-national parties.
When BJP allies with Umar Saab National Conference and makes him the External Affairs Minister of India, that is in national interest. When BJP allies with People's Democratic Party and forms a government in Jammu and Kashmir, that's in national interest. But today, when all political parties, if you see the common denominator between the major regional parties in the People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration is that we have all been allies of BJP. You know, if in yesteryears we have been allies of BJP, how can we be anti-nationalists today? You know, this monopolist of, sort of morality, doling out certificates of nationalism. Sometimes you are national, sometimes you are anti-national. I mean, this is just, they are rattled. They don't know. When we distance ourselves from panchayat elections, they called us anti-national then. And now when we are contesting elections, democratically taking part in elections, convincing people to vote, to join the mainstream, and they call us elections. They have umbrella organizations within NDA. They are not anti-national. But when we come together, we are anti-national. We have every day there is questions on our integrity. Our people have sacrificed for the flag. They call us, if we speak about flag, they call us that, you guys are anti-nationals. But we in the meantime, we forget that this flag, that it has been derived from the Constitution of India. That flag was given to us from the Constitution of India. If we talk about China, talk about safeguarding our own territory. And they call us anti-nationals. I mean, look, we are seriously concerned when we lose our own territory. We're talking about safeguarding our own territory. Amit Shah ji is just rattled because he knows that electoral, numbers are in our favor. In 2014 assembly elections, when we contested, all the parties of the Gupkar Alliance, we got more than 90% of the vote share in Kashmir province. So they know they know their situation in Jammu right now, where they have their own party youth wing is protesting in Jammu. There are people, agitating in Kargil.
So let me get a reaction.
The matters are in court.
So let me get Mr. R.P. Singh to respond to that. Mr. R.P. Singh, the point that's being made from the other side is that you've had alliance with National Conference. You've recently had an alliance with the PDP. So how is it that when they come together, it's an unholy alliance?
But this is a flag for them, okay? And this is the flag for the, this is the honorable flag for them. That's the difference. And the
Mufti says that for her, national flag is not a flag. And she said she will not contest elections for this reason. And she said she will boycott national flag, one. Secondly, Mr. Abdullah seeks help from China to get 370 back. And then seek help from Pakistan to get 370 back. Congress seek help from Joe Biden, President-elect from America, to get 370 back. No, they have to decide whether they are national or anti-national. The people will decide. People who are seeking help from China, Pakistan, or they are attacking anti-Indian flag, whether they are nationalists or anti-nationalists. So when we say anti-nationalists, it means their conduct has been that way. And secondly, another second. When did this election happen? It's happening for the first time that democracy is going down at the ground level. They boycotted the recent Panchayat election where 30,000 Panch and Sarpanch contested and won elections on pretext, till that time 370-35 was there, on pretext that government, if removes 370-35, will not contest. And that time it was there. Now it has been removed, they are contesting. I'm shocked at their hypocrisy. But what are they doing? For God bless, they can contest together, but people of Jammu Kashmir can see through that people who are not allowed this election to happen for 73 years. They never wanted the power to go to the ground level for 73 years. It's happening now, and people will vote against them. That's why I should not say scorpion, measles, snake has come together for one more reason. The reason is.
But Mr. Singh,
Can I complete another second?
Okay.
Because of reason is that 25,000 crore rupee scam, land scam, which is dangling on their head as per the High Court order of the Jammu Kashmir.
Right.
And in which all three parties are involved.
No, there is no denying the fact. I will say this, that years of governance in Jammu and Kashmir has forgotten the common man there, has abandoned them. There's been a lot of corruption and those problems exist. But the basic question is, Mr. R.P. Singh, are you telling me that today when you say Mehbooba Mufti is insulting the Tiranga and will refuse to pay respect to the Indian flag, did she have different views, you think, in 2015 when you allied with her?
We were there with them under a program which they defied, and we walked out. It was us.
Her views about the Tiranga and the Indian Constitution versus Kashmir freedom were still the same.
I'm sorry, she never uttered a word on Tiranga till then she was with alliance with us. And the day we felt that he is going astray, we immediately withdrew the support. And then we said, we have to part ways. But let's understand what the problem is, that they are scared of the ground. They are scared of the people at the ground because they know that democracy is working on ground. Now, have you ever seen Mufti or Abdullah going to ground? The first time ever that they are going to forest to meet Bakarwas, to meet other communities. They used to win contestants sitting back home.
Okay, let Mr. Saqib come and respond to that. Go ahead, please.
The Union of India's relation with state of Jammu and Kashmir, it is not because of the BJP. BJP is just only 5 years of history in our 70 years of accession to India. So, when Jammu and Kashmir acceded to the Union of India, perhaps RSS was they were traitors, they were working with British at that point of time. But let's not delve in the history. Let's come to 2 points. 2 points Mr. R.P. Singh has raised. One is internationalization of issue. Who internationalized the issue? Who brought European diplomats to Kashmir? If Kashmir is not a political issue, why did Prime Minister Modi go to Pakistan? Why did Prime Minister Modi appoint an interlocutor of the rank of cabinet secretary in Jammu and Kashmir for talks with Hurriyat, for talks with everyone of a different shade of opinion? That's number 1 point. Number 2 point is about democracy in Jammu and Kashmir. BJP doesn't have any moral standing of teaching us, about democracy. We have upheld democracy in Kashmir at the cost of 10,000 lives of political workers who have given their lives for our flag. Mr. Singh talks about flag of Jammu and Kashmir, but he conveniently forgets, if Karnataka has a state holiday, they have a flag. He's not bothered about that. They cut a deal with Nagas about their flag. But conveniently forgets it's the same Union of India. It's not any other place, it's not any other country that has given us that flag. It's not anti-national to speak about a flag that has been derived from the Constitution of India. And mind you, Mr. Singh, the matter is sub judice. Court hasn't given a final verdict on it. The third point that Mr. Singh raised was about Roshni Act. If I apply the same logic to, about court cancelling, quashing the law that was passed in Legislative Assembly with the majority, if courts can sort of quash that law, then what stops Supreme Court to sort of quash the bill, the reorganization bill that was passed in Parliament? So I think the matter is, Mr. R.P. Singh, you are rattled. You know that you're wiped out. Your Jammu bashing, is wiped out. Your hollow promise of
okay, Najmul Saqib, let him respond.
Let me complete one last point. Mr. Home Minister Amit Shah ji talks about providing, for sort of development of the tribal people. I have seen the development when Mehbooba Mufti went to Lidru yesterday, and hopefully other PhD leaders will also visit there. I saw a mother, 2 kids, 2 daughters of ages 3 and 4. She didn't have a roof on her head in this winter. It was snowing, and those tribal people were evicted from their homes. Those homes in which they have lived for hundreds of years, and they have been evicted from those lands. And that is the sort of development which Prime Minister Modi, which Home Minister Amit Shah has promised. These are all fake promises, and I'm terribly sorry that people of India are buying into this argument. That people of India are buying into this logic. You have to wake up. You are being fed lies. Don't believe the BJP.
Let him respond, please. Let him respond to this. I have a question for you, Najmul Saqib, but I want R.P. Singh to respond to this first.
Please go ahead, Mr. Singh.
Very small point. He said that Mehbooba Mufti went to some tribal area and then the people have been evacuated. See, under that grab, under that cover, they are trying to cover their sins. He's not talking about the land which Mehbooba Mufti has grabbed there under that Roshni Act or Abdullah's or Azad's has grabbed there, or probably
Mr.
he would have also grabbed.
I'm sorry to interject here, but let me
please, sir. It was forest land. I don't yield. I'm not yielding, sir.
It has nothing to do with Roshni, Mr. Singh. I'm sorry to interject. But it had nothing to do with Roshni. It was a forest land. Those tribal people are being evicted from forests. Those lands under which you promised that Forest Rights Act will be implemented in Jammu and Kashmir. And you have not.
Thank you.
And these are the lies that we sort of seek to expose. And
okay, right. I just very quickly have one question for you, Najmul. We will, I promise, do a larger conversation on the land aspect and the Roshni law that's been brought in. But here is my question to you. For the Gupkar Alliance parties, Najmul Saqib, are you now going to be participating in elections, in all kinds of elections that are held in Jammu and Kashmir? Because there was initially a hesitance to participate in the local elections that were being held.
We will not cede any space to BJP. The scheme of disempowerment that started on August 5, we are seeing the results today. That process continues still. And we will not give any democratic space to Jammu and Kashmir. We will not allow them to bulldoze our identity, our culture, our resources. Look what is happening. Our resources are being looted every day. Look, it's very sad.
Why are the elections that are held?
Ministry of External Affairs.
That's fine. I'm trying to understand how will you fight them? Why are the elections that are held in Jammu and Kashmir? Or are you going to go back to the Supreme Court? How are you going to fight the BJP?
Our fight is on every turf, every front. We will not cede an inch of space democratically. Our aspirations, the aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir will be reflected and are reflected in the People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration.
Okay, democratically being the operative word, fair enough. Quick response from RP Singh before we wrap this. Yes.
I'll appreciate if, I'm not being interrupted and interjected because, that's not the way the debate has to be conducted, especially on your channel. I'm not sitting on another channel. Let's be clear. Now, do you understand? They have lost ground. They have lost people's mandate. 30,000 people voted, 30,000 Panch and Sarpanch got elected against their wishes. Now they know that, they are losing ground. They boycotted the last election. They thought probably no one will contest election. The election will boycotted. And since people at large, common men participated, and they lost the ground, that's why to recover that lost ground, they are taking this as a pretext that we have come together to safeguard the interests of Jammu and Kashmir. For 73 years, we never held this election. What are you talking about safeguarding the Kashmir interest? You never wanted power to go to a common man. You never wanted a village person of the village end or the district end to be empowered. When you talk about empowering people, you see families, dynasties have looted Kashmir for all these years. Looted Kashmir for all these years.
May I just say that one thing that both of you seem to be agreeing on is fighting each other democratically, electorally, and I feel it is high time that the election process actually restarts in Jammu and Kashmir, and then let the people of Jammu and Kashmir express their view and make their own choice very clear, instead of just a political fight that happens and this kind of an allegation and countercharge that takes place. But thank you, Mr. RP Singh and Najmul Saqib, for joining us on this conversation. Viewers, there is merit to when the political parties of Jammu and Kashmir come together and say, well, we are trying to just form a political alliance to fight the BJP democratically, electorally. How was that anti-national? Suffice to say that in the political scenario of Jammu and Kashmir, this is something very different and this is something very rare. On one hand, you will have the BJP. On the other hand, you will have PDP, the National Conference. Congress has so far decided to stay away, and other political parties of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, that's not to say they've never switched sides and never joined hands to form an alliance. But this political confrontation will be important, because since the abrogation of 370, the political setup in Jammu and Kashmir had been completely dismantled. Most of these leaders have in fact been in some or the other kind of house arrest or detention. It is high time that we see the process restart. The local elections are now being held. It now remains to be seen when the next bigger step will be taken.